Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we're going to work out the problem that you can read on the board that I will read to you. The school PTA is buying t-shirts for students who ordered them. 432 students ordered shirts, and they come in boxes of 24. How many boxes would they need to order? Now, my good friend Brinley, she figured out that this was a division problem, and when she thought through this is one of the things she thought of, is if it was multiplication, she would have multiplied, and I'm estimating 400 times 20 and gotten 8,000. And going back and looking at the question, how many boxes do they need? 8,000 didn't quite seem reasonable. Didn't quite seem reasonable. So then she determined it was a division problem. So knowing that in division, always the first thing she does is she lists the multiples of the divisor. Because if she doesn't, then she'd go, Mr. McMurdo, I don't get this. I don't know how many times it goes into that. And I would say, hey, where are your multiples of your divisor? And then she would say, oh, I didn't do it yet. And then I would say, well, go ahead and do it, and then I can help you. Or her mom would email me and say, hey, Brinley doesn't know how to divide. And I would say, has she shown you how she lists all the divisors out? And then she would say, no, she doesn't do that. And I'd be like, well, if she would do it, then she would know how to divide. And then her mom would say, I am going to whoop her bottom. So, Brinley, Jacob, John, Alex,
Brinley,
Olivia,
Mr. McMurdo,
and Mr. McMurdo, we all put together our multiples of 24, which really, really helps us. So we have 432 shirts, and there are 24 shirts in each box. So we decided it's division. We listed our multiples of our divisor. Now all we got to do is use this list and be able to subtract. So I look at how many times 24 goes into 4. Look at my list. Oh, it doesn't, because 4 is smaller than 24. 24 into 43. I look at my list. I want to get as close to 43 as I can without going over. I have 24. I have 48. Oh, 48's too big, so it must be 24. And since 24 times 1 equals 24. Then we subtract. We cannot take 3 ones and take 4 ones away from it. So we would need to take a 10, and we need to take 10 and break it into ones. So now we have 10 ones to add to this 3 that we already have. So now I have 13. 13 subtract 14 is 9. 3 subtract 2 is 1. And then I bring down my next number. And I know it has to go above the 2 because that's what I just brought down. I need to take 24 into 192. I look over here. 24, 48, 72, 96, 120, 144, 168, 192. 192 is already there. And since that's 24 times 8, the 8 must go above there. And 8 times 24 is 192. So I subtract, and they need 192 boxes. But, as my young friend Jacob told me, I want to make sure that answer is correct. And to make sure that answer is correct, we would multiply our quotient times our divisor. And if we had a remainder, we would add that in. But we don't. So all we need to do now is multiply 24 times 18. And we always start with our ones place. So we have 8 ones times 4 ones, which is 8 times 4? 8 times 4?
32.
32. 32 ones. Or 2 ones and 3 tens. Because I can't write 32 in the ones place. That's cray-cray. 8 ones times 2 tens is 16 plus 3 is
21.
16 plus 3
Oh, no, 16.
plus 3,
19.
19.
31.
And if you look, this is where the 192 comes from.
What isn't my answer 18?
Boom. Now I'm starting in the tens place. And, all right, these we should not have to think about very hard. 1 times 4 is?
4.
4. 1 times 2 is?
2.
We add those two together. And look, 24, 24. So that's where that comes from. And we get 2, we get 3, and we get 4, because we had to carry there. And as long as when we're done, we get the same thing as our quotient, or our dividend, then we've gotten our answer correct. Boom. Shakalaka. Peace out. God bless. Love you. Do something kind today. Save the bees. Please be kind.